We're on the podium now. 3 teams remain, so we get to crown who is third, second, and first in our next 2 series to come. Welcome back to the analysis desk here for the VR League Echo Arena Invitational. My name's Kyle Laris, and to my left-hand side, as always, Jason Kaplan and Blue. And overall, I just had to leave the pause there because you get such a Jason Kaplan, Blue. And that's how it goes. That's how it goes.
You used to give me the emphases.
The what?
Emphases.
Emphases?
Nobody
has ever said it. Emphases.
Sorry, what was the hearing thing you had?
Quippily clap?
No.
No.
Was it tinnitus? Tinnitus?
Don't remind me of it, because now I can hear it anyway. Regardless, let's take a look at our next match coming up here. It's going to be Blast going up against 11.5. And unfortunately for 11.5, falling down from the upper bracket. I was about to say higher bracket for a second there. Don't know that higher. I mean, yeah, I guess so. And then falling down to the lower bracket to now face off against Blast. And overall, 11.5 didn't have the easiest of times going up against Eclipse.
No, they didn't. I think every team out there is feeling the pain of going up against Eclipse. But to start things off, you know, this is going to be, I think, a pretty interesting one because this is a rematch of what we had on day 1. This is our opening match. And it was a very close one, Blue.
Yeah, it was incredibly close, and it's going to be interesting to see it get replayed again now that these teams have had a little bit of time to counter each other out. 11.5 once more is still trying to prove that NA is the better region here by keeping the top 2 all NA all day, whereas now it's just Blast looking to keep Europe in the tournament basically at this point, as they are the last representation, knocking out the only other team in the last matchup. Well,
let's hear it once again from 11.5.
I've always been a gamer, and I guess VR just seemed like a natural extension, the next thing to go to. Echo Arena was just something I tried. It was free, but it turned out to be the best game on the platform for me. I'd like to see VR be a much bigger deal in esports because I think it can be a big deal, especially with games like Echo Arena that are more sports-like and very physical to do. I think it's a good spectator sport.
Our chemistry has improved greatly, really it has, and we're starting to think on the same page. We're starting to flow together nicely. And it's just going to take a bit more time before we really get satisfied with our performance.
I think our team works really well together. Loveridge and I are both very good strikers. We make long shots very effectively. And then Dash is the best goalie in the game by far. And I think our communication is very effective. Some
people have regarded me as a very good goalie. And I'm just hoping I can live up to that expectation. Because even online, it's a lot of pressure. It's just like the last line of defense. And all that rides on my shoulders. I just think we have a good shot at first. If we play our game, we play our pace, we're not like letting the nerves get to us.
Yeah, winning would feel great. I think this tournament doesn't have a major impact on the season as a whole, but it would show everyone that we definitely are one of the contenders, and the cash prize doesn't hurt.
They met each other in the semifinals, and they'll battle each other again in the rematch as we get things moving here into our next team. And overall, of course, on the other side, you've got a team like Blast, who are going to be bringing the fight here to 11.5.
They are. If we just go over the score they had last time these two teams met, it was 7-8 in favor of 11.5 in the first match, 13-8 in favor of Blast in the second, and 9-13 to 11.5 in the third. So very, very close between these two teams. And again, the man on your left, Affenterra, just being so dominated in his defensive position. But Boop, the shots he's been able to pull off, his patented Boop shot onto the off the ceiling for a 3-pointer, as we saw in the last match, has been fantastic for him. Blast, I don't know, this is going to be, honestly, I think another very, very close match.
Yeah, and I agree with that completely. Affenterra, though, once again, going to be the player to watch, especially with the amount of saves he had just in their last match alone. It was at least like 3 to 4 saves that were solely coming off of him. And it's not just on defense that he's so good, too. He's really good on offense. He's really good at timing his plays well to be, as you had mentioned, in the right place at the right time. We saw it so often from him, so he is still very much, for me, the MVP for Blast.
All right, well, let's see if they can place the detonator once again. It's Blast.
I've been playing games for years and years, and I started watching YouTube videos of all these VR games. Then I started playing Echo Arena, the beta. After that, I just couldn't play any other games. That was the only one I started playing. It's the teamwork on it. It's the socialising on the game, and it feels a lot more natural playing VR. Like, it feels like you're actually in the game opposed to just looking at a screen and using your mouse and keyboard.
I wasn't much of a gamer, but I did play a lot of sports when I was younger. Pretty much the first true esports game. And then it's got the elements of gaming and also the actual physicality of real sports.
To stay ahead of the opposition, you have to constantly practice as much as possible. You have to play with all the top players of the game and just more practice, practice, practice.
I'm not really worried about any particular team. I think in terms of individual skill, there's not really a team that stands out more than, like much more than ours does. Of the European teams, we are probably the least predictable since we have the most varied play style. Everybody else tends to play one way and we're trying to play a different way.
I think we definitely have what it takes to take the first place. I don't think there's any other teams that are far above us.
Always great to hear from Team Blast, of course, as they're trying to make that kind of miracle run almost here throughout the lower bracket, and they're going to be going up against stiff competition. Even if they win here against 11.5 that caused them problems before, they still have Eclipse in their way.
And I think one thing that's kind of an upside for both these two teams is no matter who wins, you're going into the match against Eclipse warmed up, 100%.
True.
Like, you're going to be ready to go, you're going to be feeling it, you're going to be able to, see what you did right and wrong in the last match, have a couple minutes to talk things over. Blast, actually, they were going to be given more time, to rest and to prepare for this match. But like, no, let's go, let's get ready, let's get straight into this.
So respect for them. They're definitely a team I would imagine that prefers to play like while they're already warmed up as well, because that's even a thing in more traditional esports as well. We have teams that like prefer, like say for instance, if you have in this situation where you have like a semifinal and then you have the final later on today, there's some teams that prefer to play that later semifinal and then go into it, and there's some teams that like to have that little bit of extra downtime. And
we are ready for the countdown here. This is the lower bracket final. One of these teams will claim at least second place. One of these teams will go out in third.
Let's get directly into it. The launch starting now. Here comes the joust, and it's looking like it is going to go into the favor of Blast. Loose disc, though, but not for long. Picked up by Affrontera, and they're immediately moving in to try to score. He's got Wit on his behind, but it's not going to end up mattering as he's still able to secure it anyway and immediately put Blast ahead, taking only 10 seconds off the clock to score the first goal.
Wow, that's a good real start here for the team of Blast, especially with Affrontera, getting him pumped up, showing that he's got what it takes to go for the goals. Just jukes him out with the overarm, going for the windmill play, and giving them their lead 10 seconds in. Not bad. But now 11.5 going to have the disc on their own side. Let's see what Dash and Co can do here.
Once again, reminder that 11.5 needs to start out with possession this time. A quick pass over to their player in the silent. Nice release to it. What? Nice shot from Wit all the way from half court, basically. And they still managed to sink it in. And immediately 11.5 are given back the lead.
What? What was that? I mean, that could have been, actually, it looks like it was intentional because he just threw it straight past. Goes for the shot. And 11.5 quickly shut down just as, even faster than Blast was able to score. Their 2 points. Now coming back into this. One thing we talked about, Blue, off air in the breaks was that, Dash, everyone considers him to be one of the best defenders, the best goalies, but we feel like he hasn't had like that kind of play just yet. We've seen a lot of people scoring against him. We think maybe it's nerves, maybe it's the environment he's not used to. But I think he has like the most potential to step up for the team and take 11.5 to another level.
Especially given where we've been told he is on paper. We're going to see that maybe in a second here as he moves in. Sadly, pushes out far too late. Lone Gecko's left with an open goal opportunity. Sinks it in, and just like that, Blast are once again back in control now, 4-3.
All right, so it looks like we might be underway with a very high-scoring game here between the two teams. Keep in mind, when they have met previously, the scores didn't get out of hand too far. It was 7-8, 13-8, and 9-13. And the stuns as well haven't really been there from both teams. And then again, we've only played, what, 36 seconds of time? Yeah. So you kind of understand exactly why that is currently in that stature.
Watch coming out once again. 11.5 starting off with the possession. Nice little bank shot as well, trying to give it back to them, but no, it goes into the hands of Affrontera. He gets a nice pass, but no, intercepted by Dash instead as he's moving up the field already. It's going to be dangerous if this goes into the possession of Blast, but for now, 11.5, they got good control. They're just going through a pass routine to try to get closer to the goal and set up for a three-pointer.
Some punching coming in. The disc has been freed, actually losing out of the hands of the orange side. 1.5 with leverage there. And we get a nice punch and a pickup onto the disc. Looking for another pass towards the high ground. Dash slow things down here. They have a lot of time to work with here. Definitely our longest possession we've had so far in this game. They're pushing in. They're looking for the shot.
You can see here as well, Loveridge looking to sneak around that island while staying outside of the three-point zone to be able to score. The bounce, though, is going to send it loose, and now Loveridge is out of position to be able to retrieve it again. He does get the stun over on the Lone Gecko, but it's too late. He's already released it, sent it back over to the middle of the field, and now, once again, Dash is still out of position. He's not in goal in time. It's a good thing that this banks off, as it does give 11.5 the extra time to get into a defensive position. Otherwise, that would have been a free goal for Blast. Still could be, though, but again, another missed pass. We're seeing a lot of whiffs here between both teams, and the disc is being thrown loose quite often.
Yeah, it should be Boop picking it up, though. If he can just catch it. Oh, who actually picks that Boop? Barely going to get it, and now the defenders have overcommitted, but Loveridge, he catches the disc in mid-pass. Passes it over to Dash, who's looking for the shot. There's going to be a man in the goal. It will be Lone Gecko, but they're pushing back out. There's no one actually there at the moment. He's going to have to back off here, and on the high ground, Witt's looking for a shot. Not sure where that was going, but it definitely didn't go in the right direction. I can guarantee that.
I think a bad bounce angle right there, so it does send it free once more. For now, 11.5 do have it, but it's another loose pass. It's going to try to send it over to Witt. He gets control, but the pass up top puts it into the hands of Boop. He's going to slap it right back over towards middle, and he'll very quickly slingshot to be able to maintain that control and try to start taking it offensively. You can even see he's waving his teammates on. Let's go, guys. Let's get down the field. He tries to go over to the three-point. That was going to be way off, though.
Avendura does pick it up, though, does retrieve the disc. He actually just gets a nice juke here. Lone Gecko trying to get close and personal. We've seen what he can do here for this position. He gets the shot on the high ground. And Blast take a 3-point lead. 2 minutes and 23 seconds left here in our first match.
Thread the needle a little bit. Quite a few defenders set up there for 11.5, but not enough to stop the goal attempt here. Loveridge making great use of this little pedestal to swing out into the open, find his open opportunity to score, and indeed capitalize upon it. Put his team ahead now 6-3 with 11.5. Again, starting out with possession because of this, the possession stats look relatively even, but this is mainly, again, because of the fact that 11.5 are starting off with it so often.
Again, look at the stuns, too. 14-7. 11.5 having double the stuns than Blast. Really showing what they're focusing on. Again, Blast not really committing too much to stuns. They did that just in the last match as well. That pass will be missed again. Be thrown in towards that tube. You can see it's very brawly, very skirmishy. The shot's going to come in. There's no one in the goal. It's going to actually miss, unfortunately for them. But can the clear come in from Blast? They just can't seem to get to the disc in time.
It's back into the open. Witt's going to try to send it over towards Dash. He successfully does that. Another pass to Loveridge as the entire 11.5 roster is getting involved at this point. Back to Dash once more. Now on to Witt as they still are looking for a three-point opportunity. It's not being left so easy, though, so they might have to go inside after all, and they do successfully score, which brings them right back into the fold, however, at 5-6.
It's not over just yet. 2 points is good to get on the board to close that distance. Any shot they make now will put them in the lead. And Blast in possession. I think, I don't know, I want to say like whoever picks up the first map is going to take it to 2-0. But these teams can go back and forth so quickly. It can just, you know, switch on a dime's edge.
Yeah, this has been very, very back and forth between the two teams right now. So I feel because of that reason.
Sorry, sometimes I don't know what I say. Actually, I looked over at Claris and we're both shaking our heads like, what did he say? In the meantime, though, the disc is going to be back on the side of 11.5 on their side of the field. Lone Gecko trying to come in. Boop, going to be able to pick up the disc another time. I'm not going to go for the three-point here, but they're stalling for a little bit of time. Lone Gecko comes in, and he says, slam dunk. Picks up another 2 points and keeps it to a 3-point lead.
Yes, he does. He just floats down from the ceiling to be able to secure it this time. We'll get the replay on that once more to take a look at it. Blast are able to re-secure their lead one more time here. It's a question of whether it is going to keep it that way, though, as the scoreline is at a point where their opponents score a three-pointer and immediately tie this back up. If 11.5 are able to do that. It's been very hard, though, because Blast has been very good at getting back inside of the goal in time, and if there's someone in the goal, it's going to be very, very difficult to try and score a three-pointer outright. Yep. So,
unless you have like a nice 2-on-1 with the attacker or striker behind the defender to get a nice punch in. Whip actually might get pushed on. He actually clears this in a perfect amount of time. Loveridge, again, played on the high ground. It's going to be Affenterra there. They have a potential 2-on-2. Again, slowing things down. They have to be very wary of the time here, Blue. 1:09 minutes left to go, and they're still down by 3, and the chance of hitting a three-point shot is going to be very slim.
Dash passing down to it, and it's close range, secured for 11.5. It's not that three-pointer they would have wanted, but it is enough to close the gap and keep things neck and neck once again as we're coming down to the last minute of play in the opening round.
Yeah, good. Again, 11.5 doing a great job of landing these passes. We've seen teams just today alone, like the pressures getting into them. They've been missing a lot of passes that should be connecting, or even grabs that should be connecting when picking up the ball, the disc. And let's see, Blast now, 1:03 minutes left. They gotta be feeling hyped. After that last match, they have to be feeling good, and not to mention able to maintain a lead for the majority of this game too really helps.
Especially if they're going to be able to carry through that right 2-0.
Oh, hello.
Victory.
Hello.
And this could be a good opportunity for Boop, excuse me, to move in there and secure another goal for Blast as they now shoot ahead 10-7.
Do it for me, Blue. Woo. Thank you. Thank you. Gets the shot. Yeah, he gets the lead again, back to 3. This has been like the struggle of the game. We saw 11.5 take the lead with a nice 3-pointer out of Whip, but to be fair, that was a jammy of a shot. So let's see if we can see maybe them come back with another 3-pointer, though I see it being very difficult. As long as Blast make sure to maintain that one person in the goal, I don't see them hitting a 3.
We will find out on that now. 50 seconds left on the clock for 11.5 to go for a response. Quick pass over towards Wit to start off this round now. Tries to send it long range over to Loveridge, but he's going to get stunned out. Giving it to Affenterre. Let him get this thing the heck out of there.
And 39 seconds, time is taken away. 11.5, they're going to have to score more than once now because Lone Gecko comes in, takes it to a 5-point lead for Blast. And that might have just opened the entire match wide open.
And that comes out of absolutely nowhere as well. As Affenterre, Lone Gecko, excuse me, swings down from up on top of the goal. Strikes in quickly to be able to secure an even greater lead for Blast.
Not only do the players get exhausted, so do the casters clearly. You're hearing me cast this one. 2 minutes and 25 to the 133 in possession for 11.5. 30 seconds to go. Time is taken away. A double 3-pointer would be perfect. But you can see Affenterre did not leave the goal this entire time because they know the priority. Deny the 3 points, and they're going to have their first round under their wing.
Nice.
Affenterre with the great defense there. Says quippity clap. Sends that one back.
Nice grab from Affenterre as well to quickly get rid of it as they flip it out into the open, and we are going to see Affenterre look for even more securities. He locks in for another 2-pointer for Blast. 14-7. They've now doubled the scoreline for 11.5, and I think it's a safe bet to say at this point they've got the first round.
I think so. There's like no time left to go here, and Blast have been slowly able to just punish the mistakes by 11.5 over and over again. Well played by both teams so far, but Blast, they are on a warpath, on a rampage to get through to Eclipse. That would be pretty insane, though. The #1 from EU, the #1 from NA, going head-to-head in potentially a double best-of-3.
Blast will get the opportunity to enter the throne room and challenge the Kings to a duel, but they're going to have to get past 11.5 first. The Kings guards, but they've already managed to take out the first round. One more to go, however, as round 1 concludes with a final score of 14-7 in the favor of Blast.
All right, so they've got to be feeling fantastic now, winning the last 3 rounds in a row. 2 up against Aftershock, 1 now against 11.5. And more importantly, they're getting revenge against the team who knocked them into the loser bracket. This is a team who beat them in the semifinals just yesterday, our first match of the day, a very close match between the two. And they've shown they've definitely grown from yesterday to this moment.
This match has already proven to be just as close, and it would be all but poetic as well for Blast to be able to take the series in this fashion and be the one to knock 11.5 out of the tournament, even though they themselves knocked Blast down here into the lower bracket. To fight all the way back from the middle of the lower bracket to go to the grand finals will certainly be an achievement for Blast.
You know, we need to go to a club with Affenterre.
With Affenterre, yeah.
I feel like he'd be the life of the party. Teach me some dance moves, because all I know is the dice move. I don't know if you know which one that is.
No.
Okay, well, I'll show you. I'll show you right now since the camera's not on us. But in the meantime, 11.5, they've got to come back from this one. They mentally have to stay strong. You know, they need to ignore what happened in the last match. Obviously, take the mistakes and figure those out and fix them. But their life's on the line here.
Very much so. So for 11.5, one more opportunity for them to be able to close out, bring themselves back into the fold, I guess I should say, against Blast here. Get a chance at that rematch versus Eclipse, and one more opportunity as well to finally dethrone the Kings of NA and seemingly the Kings of the world as well right now in Echo Arena. So just a few more moments here, guys.
I was just enjoying the silence. You know, the calm before the storm, before it breaks off between these two.
Yeah, but a caster chicken there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, it gives us a chance to, you know, take a break, like we see Lone Gecko doing on the right-hand side of the screen.
Yeah, just giving himself, as we see the players picking up towels and all that to make sure the sweat doesn't get in their eyes. Cause
you know, you talked about, by the way, the Affenterre on the screen. You talked about like his really good defense being the MVP in your eyes.
Yeah.
I think we saw it there as well. There was a potential for like a 1v1, and again, instead of going defensive and sitting back, he gets aggressive. He gets the punch in, he gets the disc, and he gets the clear. And that style has been really nice to see out of him. And I mean, he's up against, you know, the crowned best goalie in the world, well, in NA at least, and I want to say he's pretty much been the best goalie for me in EU.
Yeah, no, I would have to agree with that completely. And the best part is it's not just a goalie. That's not his only highlight. Like, he can play offensively, too, if he needs to. If he needs to start moving up the field with his teammates, then that's something he can do very, very well in addition to his defensive play style. So he's a very, very versatile player and certainly one of the MVPs for me so far in this Invitational. We do want to remind you guys once again as well that if you want to hop into the Rift yourself, hop into the arena, just go over to that link at the bottom of your screen to enter for a chance to win an Oculus Rift and get yourself a chance to start playing some Echo Arena. Ready as Season 2 of the VR League continues on in these next couple of weeks when we head back to the online cups.
Not only is there this great game, there's also Echo Combat in beta, which is honestly something I'm really excited to see and hopefully get to cast in the future with you, Blue, because that game, I think, has a lot of potential. It's more of a traditional esport, but it's an exciting game to watch. I think going to be at a high level. But here we go, Blue.
Second round starting right now. 10 seconds to go until we have the joust. Blast in the lead. Can Europe still prevail and push themselves on to the grand finals? Or is NA going to hold strong and take both slots in that final? Let's find out right now as the joust moves out. Blast will take initial control. Bit of a Hail Mary launch down the field from Boop, which will get interrupted, but here comes the cavalry. Everyone else from Blast moving in to get offensive. And there is a player missing here from 11.5, so Blast will very quickly secure an opening goal.
Yeah, Dash not able to stop that one. Lone Gecko comes in, gets a nice 2-0 lead here. Again, this is what we saw before. Blast's very early goal, though they did give up a 3-pointer from Wit. And just look at that. You see where Affenterra as well. He's just sitting back. They're not trying to play the 2-on-1. They know the time is of urgency. So he's playing that position to maybe get the catch on the potential save and the clear. A smart play out of that man there. And 2-0. Last time it was 10 seconds in. This time it was 14 seconds in. Blast proving to be a consistent team at the moment.
So he's going to be 11.5, taking possession initially. Not a whole lot of offensive play coming out from Blast, as once again, they look to more interrupt the opening pass instead of going directly for the player who takes the initial pickup here. So the pass goes off without a hitch. Seems like 11.5 found a really good counter to that more aggressive strategy from Blast. It's basically just wait until Blast lose that momentum to throw the pass. I mean, loose, though, is going to get dangerous here a little bit. 11.5 will have a great chance for a response. Pass up top, though, puts it into the hands of Boop, and he's going to clear it quite easily to the other side. A race between the two teams. 11.5 should win this. However, Blast can still wreak some havoc and maybe get another goal themselves. They knock them both out and get past the goalie to secure another 2-pointer.
Thing is, when all three players are looking the same direction of the disc, no one's looking behind to see how quick they're coming in. And when they come in delayed like that, they get the opportunity for a quick punch and a quick score. That's a little unfortunate for 11.5, but Blast has done that not only once, but twice.
So they're going to be able to get a very convincing lead. It's already at a point where 11.5 now need at least 2 goals to either tie or take the lead. And Blast will, of course, look to extend that advantage even more so. And as well, Blast have to be careful because this did not take a lot of time to get into this kind of a leading position. So at 4 minutes and 10 seconds left, Blast may want to start looking to waste a little bit of time or going for slower styled plays here. They're going to have to quickly launch back, however, as 11.5 take possession over towards their side of the arena relatively quickly. They got a good pass routine going here. It's moving up the field quite quickly. Now it's going to get a little bit more difficult, though, as they approach the 3-point bubble.
He goes for the pass to Leverage. Leverage looking for the shot. Does get blocked out by Affenterra again. This man, the beast, the terror from the depths below in the goal, has been able to non-stop deny shots over and over again. And now potentially the shot coming from Lone Gecko is going to bounce off the backboard and not go the right direction. Unfortunately, Boot trying to get the pickup, gets a nice punch on the Leverage. Now there's potential for the pass back to Gecko or Affenterra all waiting the goal. But there it is. Finally, someone on the side of 11.5 have denied the shot.
This is going to send the disc loose once again, but it's loose right, it's seemingly anyway, into the possession of Blast. But no, someone from 11.5 gets near and is able to punch it further down the field, right inside of Blast 3-point, but a bit of a panic clear as well from Blast there, as the pressure continues to broil in from 11.5. But they got to be careful. Oh, a nice steal coming in from Wit there. Sends it loose once again, but it's still not making any progress. It's still stuck here middle right now. Lone Gecko going for a bit of a Hail Mary shot off the triangles, but it won't work out for now and stays loose, floating through the arena.
It's going to be picked back up for 11.5, cleared over to Wit. Should ideally be able to get this out of their side of the arena, but no, Boop gets the connection, gets the catch, he looks for the shot, but just barely misses that one. Boop gonna get the rebound though, and looking for it. No, Wit! This man, his arm length has to be insane because he's been able to block so many shots now and save 11.5 for being further behind.
Good blocking as well. He's really good at timing his actual blocks as well when it comes down to stopping him from getting punched out so close to a ding. Going in there though is gonna cause another miss, but it's not over just yet. Blast still have the pressure. Dash though is able to pick it up, gets it clear, but it only puts it into the hands of Boop. Nice juke from Boop right there to get him out of harm's way temporarily. Boop will move in for the stun, but it's too late. They'll quickly slingshot back inside of their bubble though and get back that possession to try to take it towards mid once again.
Like I said, maintain that possession. They go for the clear instead of passing off to a teammate to the side. And 11.5 gets some chance to breathe here, some chance to calm down. Boop comes in to disrupt Wit as he gets the pass over to Dash. Every inch they approach, or every centimeter, depends where you're from, I guess, whatever system you're on, is hard to get for 11.5. They have to work for it every single time. And they actually need to penetrate the defense, but how do you, I don't know how you missed that one.
And now that's going to put all 3 players from Blast in a defensive position, but they sneak it past them anyway. 11.5, thankfully recovering after what should have been an easy goal for Wit right there. They still managed to sink it in, however, and put the scoreline at 4-2. That, however, does serve Blast quite well, as it wasted a whole lot of time off the clock.
Yeah, I think Wit's got to be a little bit miffed from that one.
Jesus.
Luckily, he did have his teammates there to help him out. I'm trying to get all those English terms out there.
I don't think we played that one yet.
Miffed?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
man, I just ruined it.
You just ruined the spoiler.
I don't think that one's actually made yet, so we're all good.
Oh, okay.
You can check that out on social media.
Here we go, the next launch, and again, it's going to be Blast starting out with initial possession here. Affenterre going for a quick pass, it needs to bank. Oh, that's a good pass, though, if it works out. In fact, they could just score right off this. No, they miss it, though. Loose disc for now. Affenterre will pick it back up, though. Looking for a good pass opportunity, sends it over to Boop. There's going to be aggression from the goalie. They put another player in, but where is that supposed to go? Just sends it right back into the open.
Simple geometry, I think he was going for there. Lone Gecko is going to be able to pick up the disc again. Passed off towards him, coming in from the low-hand side, looking for potential slam dunk, and through 2 players, he gets it on the high ground. Look at Affenterre on the bottom left-hand side of your screen. He's happy about that one. There's a minute and 20 left, stopping Blast from getting through to the grand finals and eliminating 11.5.
You can see 11.5 not really wanting to move anyone out of the goals. They had 2 players. And the problem is with Wit, I think it was Dash, were kind of stacked up. So the real benefit of having those 2 players inside is obviously you're able to cover a lot more ground inside of the goal. With both of them like right next to each other, it left a massive hole right at the top of the goal line there. And of course gave Blast, Boop specifically, the time to analyze and eventually sink it in.
We know it's sinking in. The potential elimination of 11.5 for all the players here. Realizing they're 4 points down. The time is running thin. Their passes are becoming more and more dodgy as they play, seeming to miss their targets. Boop's just going to push off of his teammate Affenterre, and now Dash a little bit overextended. The goal's going to be not open, but the shot won't even connect either way. And Boop was looking for the self-pass there. He's on the high ground. He has the potential to go for another shot, but the time that they're holding the disc is time that 11.5 isn't scoring. They need to do something, and they need to do it now.
Bounce over to Boop, gives him possession once again. Lone Gecko will pick it up inside of the bubble. He doesn't want to stay in there, though. Trying to line up a 3-pointer if at all possible, but no, we'll sneak around the backside and secure another 2-pointer for Blast. As they're up to 8 now with only 45 seconds left. It's starting to look like 11.5 will just have no way to get back into this.
It's looking like it, but I don't want to count him out just yet. We've already seen the Hail Mary of a shot out of Wit in that first round. They have the chance to do it, but time is dwindling away, and they need to make their move. They have to be quick. They have to be fast. And if you're Blast here, deny the 3-pointer. That's all you need to do. You know, keep Affenterre back in the goal. Force 11.5 to go for the 2s, because it's going to take a lot longer of time for them to be able to successfully do that. And then just work off of that. Work off the fact that you're going to have possession next round and go for the time. Look at the minimap. Look how many people are keeping back at the goal to make sure those 3-pointers won't happen.
Blast really don't get aggressive at all when it comes to pushing past the half-point line here. However, they are a little bit out of position, so there will be an opportunity, but that's a sloppy pass. Does work out to give it over to Lover to the very least, and they'll move in. So there's the 2-pointer. There's the start of it. They do it quickly as well. Only 20 seconds going off the clock. Problem is they need to do that 2 more times. And now they're going to start off without possession.
Exactly, and this allows Blast to just play keep away, play monkey in the middle with a team of 11.5. It was a good shot by Wit, but you have to wonder, is it just too late for them? 19 seconds it took for them to score that. You look at the clock, they have to go even faster pace to catch up for the next 2 goals.
They're basically going to have to launch directly to the other side of the arena to have a hope of stopping Blast at this point.
Exactly. You can't hate on them if they do that too. You can't say it's an error or something, because they have to do it. Like, that's the play they have to make. They have to get aggressive. They have to get in their face.
So we will jump into it in just a second, guys. It is looking like one of our setups had a quick issue there, so we're going to look to fix that as fast as possible. It is on the side of Blast, so I don't imagine it would change our score up at all. Should be locked in as to exactly what it is right now. And it's just a matter of, again, getting that fixed, and we'll jump back into the game.
One of the players using a mat there. We brought that from home just for some extra control on the play areas.
I was noticing that as well. I wonder if I wonder if that is like just trying to replicate the home setup right there.
Like we were saying before, you know, as Flash does in StarCraft, as I learned very quickly, you got to be comfortable with where you're playing. You know, you got to make sure that you feel like you're at home, that you can play to the level that you know you can when you're there. And I believe that is actually going to be, if I can read this correctly, it's going to be Leverage should be there. So playing with his own mat. I don't know why necessarily. I'm imagining those things are the normal ones are not, you know, like a slip on them. But hey, it makes his feet feel better.
A little more cushiony, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's just more a familiarity aspect of it. And as you said, going back to some players like Flash and a lot of Counter-Strike players kind of do this stuff too, just trying to replicate or get as close as possible to what they have on their home setup. As I know, a lot of players also brought like their own grips and everything for the controllers too, based on what they're used to. So that's another.
A lot of face plates as well, to like, you know, make sure it's comfortable, make sure the fit stays on their face, and obviously, you know, you don't want to wear the same face mask as the player before of you.
It's more for sanitary reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, with the players getting quite sweaty.
Looks like it is Boop having some problems with his setup at the moment. So as you can see, Lone Gecko, Affentary just wants to keep playing. Lone Gecko's like, I got my headset off, I'm gonna, you know, relax, and Affentary's like, come on, can we just keep playing? I'll play 1v3. I'll do this. I wonder if we have any more of those English terms. Any more of those videos, because those were hilarious.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
I enjoyed those. I don't know how long we're going to be waiting for this one.
We'll have to see if any of those are prepared and ready to go.
So Eclipse. That's the next opponent for either of these two teams. You can see on your screen, 11.5 and Blast. Let's get real. You know, let's real world this here. You know, let's stop being fake and start getting real. Do you think there's a chance that either of these teams can not only take a series off Eclipse, okay, let's start smaller, take a round off Eclipse, then potentially take a series?
That's going to be the challenge, I think, is 2 series in a row here. I mean, we've already seen as well here Blast playing through the previous series and then going pretty much directly into this one. I would imagine they're going to want at least a little bit of a break between this and the grand finals, and that there might be a small break in between the best of 3s, but they're still going to have a lot of resilience to be able to play through what is essentially like 4 best of 3s in a row if they want to take the title here. So if they want to win, they've got to go for quick victories, I would say, against Eclipse to keep their stamina going up until the very end of it. But you know, you're going up against Eclipse, it's very unlikely that's going to happen, I would say.
I mean, let's be fair. Like, if any team out there is going to dethrone the champion, doing it twice in a row really shows you're the better team, right? Not only beating them once in a best of 3, but doing it twice, you can pretty much shut down any doubts that are out there.
In my eyes, this man on the screen right now would be the one to push them over the edge. He's been making so many good, incredible plays from an individual basis and working so with his team as well. Affentary, again, for me so far, based on what we've seen today, has been the MVP.
No, I'd agree. MVP of the whole tournament, I don't think we can give him that, but almost every match that we've seen now Blast play, it's usually been that man that's been the MVP.
It looks like we do have a little bit more British slang for you guys, though, so let's take a look at that.
Well, I got bollywockles.
That totally sounds British.
It sounds pretty British, yeah.
Bollywockles. I don't know. It seems like a exclamation that you would make.
Like, that was bollywockles. That was complete and total bollywockles.
Bollywockles. That's too far.
I feel like this one.
I feel like it's so absurd.
Yeah, this one's like
real.
This one's so. No, I'm the opposite.
Like it's so absurd it has to be real.
I feel like this one's too far gone for it to be real.
We're gonna get first place at this tournament. Yeah, exactly.
Bollywockles.
It's gonna be us, idiot.
I'd say yes.
I'd say that's how you'd use it.
Yeah,
for sure,
it sounds like it'd be real, but it probably isn't.
Because it sounds like something else.
Really far gone, like the idea of Brexit. Okay.
It's not a word. Trust me.
It's not a word?
It's not a word.
I trust him. If he says it's not a word, it's not a word.
Like that girl in the club was dancing me all bollywockles. I don't know, I keep going back to it.
And all right, ladies and gentlemen, we do have to interrupt that video as it is time to jump back into it now as our teams are ready to go. We just have to reset it, jump back in. I think we have the score equal to what it should be here as well. So 28 seconds left for those of you who are just joining us. And 11.5 needs at least 2 goals.
You're going to imagine that Blaster's going to try to play keep away here. 11.5, they have to go. They have to turn on their Nitro here. They have to turn on their NOS if they want to be able to race this Fast and Furious Echo Arena version. Vin Diesel starting in this one, and 11.5 are trying to pick up this distance, which they're going to be able to do. The problem is, how quickly can they score here?
They have to move fast. There can't be any interception, which is exactly what we get. Thankfully, there's a quick retrieval by Wit, which is going to keep it under their control. They're wasting so much time over here in the mid-tunnel. And a loose disc, this is their worst nightmare right now, as they have to spend so much time getting back. Set control goes over to Wit. Less than 5 seconds remaining. Can they score? Yes! It's a swoop around. But again, the problem becomes there's so little time left. About 4 seconds remaining. And I just don't think that the guys who are 11.5 are going to be able to do it.
I don't think it's even possible for them to pick up this disc anymore because it's going to be Blast who can just throw it away or just hold it 4 seconds of time. I don't think there's any chance in the world here left for 11.5. That would mean this saga has been completed between these two teams. Blast, in the second book, second iteration, have been able to overthrow the team who knocked them here into the loser bracket.
Blast don't even need their launch gate. Here we go, a very fast launch, but Blast just throw it into the open, and that will secure it, ladies and gentlemen. Our European team will come out on top of this series, moving them on into the grand finals versus Eclipse.
And you know what we got here now, Blue? Number 1 from NA against number 1 from EU. So it's going to be a true tale of who's stronger, North America, it's going to be them, or Europe.
It was if it was meant to be, as we do have Blast with the 2-0 and moving on into the grand final. They make the recovery in the lower bracket and they get their revenge on 11.5 from that upper bracket defeat. And of course now, don't stare at them because it might blind you. They're going up against Eclipse.
Very much so. I have to get ready for that.
So I think about that one. Like, can you get blinded from looking at Eclipse? Can you? I think you can, right?
Yes.
Nice. I trust you. You know better than I would. But hey, at least Kalaris, boom goes to Dynamite as Blast take down 11.5.
I mean, Trump looked at an Eclipse, didn't he? And he still can see as far as we know.
Who? Who?
That did occur. Anyway, beyond that, of course,
what did I miss?
Blast.
Just move on.
Blast with the 2-0. I'm not getting involved. Blast involved there, though, getting themselves a great victory overall. And it showed in that last game, especially, they were able to have strong mastery, almost a masterclass of how to be able to play Echo Arena.
It is, but I think that masterclass is about to get taught by another team, potentially. Eclipse.
Leveled up. Leveled up.
Okay, I was trying to figure out what that was too.
That's English slang. That's English slang.
Is it okay? There's English slang hand signals as well. I didn't know this.
I think, okay, it's great to see the number 1 seed from NA get up against the number 1 seed from EU. Haven't been able to see these two teams play each other. I think it's going to be a true test to the grit of teams as well, because Eclipse coming in easily as a favorite, and Blast is the one that has to adapt their style to what they're playing against. And we haven't even seen Eclipse pushed yet. We haven't seen them push to the limit of being forced to change their style or forced to change things up mid-game.
Well, in fact, we can hear from the winners themselves. Once again, Blast now moving on to the grand final.
Here we are again with Affentera, the only member of their team not too shy to be on camera, but everybody loves them. Any day with Affentera is a good day. Night and day this time, you came to play. 11.5, almost demoralized from their loss to to Eclipse. Sorry about that. And then you guys coming in, almost the same game, except for this time, you score close to the same amount, but it was double what they were able to do. How did this make you feel?
Good. Just good. I feel good right now. It's like they played the best. We had a loss against them. Now we're even. And they know. I told them yesterday we're coming for them. And we are.
That close match, I guess, had you a little bit angry, and it showed. And they didn't know how to fight against that attack. They couldn't stop your defenses. It was absolutely fantastic. Even with Wit coming in and draining a 3 from long range, you didn't let that bother you. You just came in and really fought hard over the goal and brought the pain there. You had a lot of great saves. And now I think you and your whole team are ready for the final showdown. The almost rematch. I mean, there is 2/3 of Jacks on your team compared to what you went through with Poland. So how does that make you feel to know that you're going to get to see if you can do it this time?
Well, the big part is there's also only 2/3 of Eclipse. So they're gonna close open doors for us. We're gonna get them. I want to fight them. I just want to win against them, and I hope it will be an awesome match, basically.
Well, 2/3 against 2/3 rematch then is what we're going to be seeing next. I can't wait to see what happens. I hope we get a repeat of what we had in Poland, something really close. I know Eclipse says, I don't want it to be close. I can't handle the stress. I know that stress is where you live, so I can't wait to see that. And we're going to go back to James at the desk.
And a big question on everyone's mind is, will we get the trifecta of Affentera interviews if they're able to get the victory at the end? Because seemingly he's the only guy that really wants to talk to us. But it's always nice to check in with Affentera after these victories. Blast looking good, but I just
love the, how do you feel? Good. Just like how, like calm he is with how crazy those matches have been.
Yeah, because it was pretty crazy, that last game.
Very zen dude, I think, after
Very zen dude?
Yeah.
Yeah?
That's a good way to describe him, I think.
Okay.
Yeah?
I mean, he kind of exudes a very calm, calm demeanor when we're talking to him normally.
Apparently, he wants to just outright fight the guys on Eclipse. So
a lot of stuns coming in this game.
I would imagine so.
Actually, when you look at that previous game, the first game in particular, where Blast was able to take the victory, at the start of the game, first half, 11.5 had far more stuns than Blast did. But Blast kind of changed their strategy a little and had way more stuns in the last portion. So they were far more aggressive, and I think that really paid dividends for them.
I think that was just like I said, an adaptation to the way 11.5 were playing, where they forced them to have to be more brawly. They weren't allowed to. Well, the thing is, we didn't get to see like Boop and Lone Gecko stick together, be very aggressive, very fast around the arena due to the way 11.5 were playing. So the adaptation came from Blast. They realized what they needed to do, and they honestly took that game away. Like the first time they met, it felt much closer than this, even though the last round was 8-6 between the two. But Blast worked for it, and I feel like winning now 2 times in a row, obviously exhaustion is going to come into effect for them potentially, but they got to be so hyped.
Credit to 11.5 though, because despite all the interference that was being run against them by Blast, they were still able to, for the most part, keep up with it. There wasn't a lot of open goal opportunities for Blast, where there wasn't at least a little bit of resistance inside of the 3-point bubble from 11.5. So they were always at least keeping up with it and making sure that they never left the goal completely open for the taking. I
mean, you were talking about fatigue, but at least for Blast, one kind of feather in their cap is that they do have a 2-0-2-0, so they didn't have to play through the entirety of these best of threes.
They did have to work hard though for those.
Of course.
I mean, you're completely right. Like if they had to work hard for those 2 and then play a third, map on top of that, that'd be even tougher. I don't know. I think that, if we think about, people in esports and how they practice, they play for like 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
Like their stamina is up there, and I would assume it's gonna be generally the same for these players. And you heard Affentair there. He wants this. He wants to fight them. He wants this victory bad. A redemption story for them as well. I think it's going to make this game close.
Well, let's check in with the lower bracket here to confirm exactly where everybody is. And for Team 11.5, they are out in 3rd place. Aftershock was out in 4th place as well. That means the Blast with that 2-0 now moves up into the grand final. Now, all importantly, because it is still a double elimination bracket, Eclipse only needs to win 1 best of 3. Blast needs to win 2 best of 3s back-to-back if they want to claim the championship here. So Eclipse only has that small little task at hand if they want to get going forwards. We're going to go to a short break here, ladies and gentlemen, and when we return, it's the grand final for the VR League Echo Arena Invitational.